In this tutorial video, I'm going to show you how to add transition effects to your iMovie project. Now this is one of the easiest things you can do in iMovie, so let me show you how to do it. So what you're going to want to do is come over here to this tab right here and click on it. And that's going to open up the Transitions tab that shows all the transitions that come with iMovie. Now if you want to get a quick preview of what a transition looks like before you add it to your project, you can just scroll over the top of one of the transitions and you can quickly see it play back. As soon as you've decided which of these transitions you want to add, all you need to do is drag and drop the transition in between the video clips. And just like that, you'll notice this little square box up here letting you know that a transition has been added to your project. So if we play that back, you can see that transition in action. So let's say, for example, that you want to make an edit, like change the duration of the transition that you've already added to your video. All you need to do is double-click on the transition to open it up in the Inspector tab. When you do that, you have the option here to change the duration. Another option you have is Applies to All Transitions. Now what that means is if you click on that box right there, every transition that's been added to your project will automatically change. So that's a quick way to change the duration of your transitions if you've already added a lot of them to your project. Finally, you have this option of changing the transition inside the Inspector tab. So let's say, for example, that you didn't like that page curl right transition that you added. You can just click right here and open up the Transition tab. Now the cool thing about looking at transitions in the Inspector tab is that you can actually view that transition with the actual video clips that you've added in your video. So if you hover over the top, you can actually now see what that transition will look like with the video clips that you've already added. So as soon as you've decided what you want to change it to, all you need to do is click on it and hit done. And just like that, it's now changed that transition. And if you hover over the top of it, you can actually see that it's changed it. And so now if we play it back, the transition will play with those new changes that we've made. Another cool thing that you can do with transitions is when you start a new project, you can automatically add transitions to your project. So if you come up here to File and hit New Project, you'll notice here this box Automatically Add. Now if you click on this Automatically Add box, you can choose which one of these transitions you want to have added to every clip or photo that you add to your video. So this is a good thing in case you're ever in a hurry and you need to quickly add transitions. You can already automatically add transitions, and that way every time you add something, it will automatically add this transition to your video. So to show you what I mean by this, let's say we start a new project with this button selected and hit Create. As soon as we add footage to our project, you'll notice that a transition has automatically been added at the beginning and end of the clip. And if we add another one, you'll see again that it's added a transition after that clip as well. Another thing you want to look at is if you come up here to File and Project Properties and go into the Timing tab, you have the option of changing the default transition duration. So let's say, for example, we want this to be 4 seconds. We can move this slider all the way to the right to 4 seconds. And if we keep it, and if we click on Applies to All Transitions, what that will do is it will change the transitions that are already added in your project to 4 seconds, and then whatever other transition you add to your project from here on out will also have this 4-second default transition duration. If you click on Applies when added to project, it won't change the transition that's already been added, but it will change every other transition that you're going to add to your project. So after making that change, let's say we want to add another transition to our project. If we click on the transition and drop it in between our video clip, you'll notice if you hover over it that you'll see 4 seconds. And so it's added that new default transition that we've set in the project properties. But if we go to our first transition, because we didn't select Apply to All Transitions, so if we play this back now, we can see 2 different transitions with 2 different durations. And that's how you add transition effects in iMovie.